So here's part 2 of 5.3. I just want to take a look at examples that have us working in the reverse order. So notice the instructions here say to rewrite each expression using rational exponents. And currently, these expressions are written using the root notation. So I just want to make sure that we can work from root notation back to rational exponent notation. So we'll do a couple of these together, and then I'll let you try the others. So if we look at A, what we see here is the 7th root of m. We're going to rewrite that using a rational exponent or a fractional exponent. So we're going to rewrite our base here of m. And then again, it's just a matter of remembering what information goes where. So remember, again, we're going to take m and rewrite it as m raised to some sort of fractional exponent. Remember that the type of root you're taking, and here it's the 7th root, that's going to be the denominator of your fractional exponent. And then the numerator comes from the power that's on that base of m. And we can see here that m isn't raised to any power. And remember, if m doesn't appear to be raised to anything, it's actually raised to the first power. So we could rewrite the 7th root of m as m to the 1/7. Let's take a look at one more together, and I think the one I want to look at is D, and then I'll have you try B and C. So if we look at D, well, we've got a fraction here, which we'll deal with in a moment. Let's just focus on the denominator of the fraction right now. On the denominator, we have the square root of z, and at this point, you might have memorized that the square root of z is the same thing as z to the 1/2 power. And if you want a reminder about how we know that, remember that if we have a radical symbol without a little number written over here in front of it, then we know it's a square root. So if you want to put the 2 up there, you could. And then again, z is not actually raised to any power. And so if it appears that z is not raised to any power, it's actually raised to the first power. And then we have both of the items for our fraction. We have a numerator of 1 and a denominator of 2. So we can rewrite the square root of z as z to the 1/2. The 1 still remains on top. Now the instructions just say to rewrite each expression using rational exponents. And really you've accomplished that task. The only issue is that our z is in the denominator. So just realize another way we could write this answer. We can pull z up from the denominator as long as we make the exponent negative. Right? You can change the location of a base from the denominator to the numerator or vice versa as long as you change the sign of the exponent. So I think either of these versions would be correct according to the directions. I could understand not wanting to write the second version because maybe you don't want to have a negative exponent in your answer. I could also understand not wanting to write this version because you have this fraction and your variables in the denominator. So it doesn't really matter to me. Either of these would be fine unless the instructions specified otherwise. So go ahead and try B and C. See if you can rewrite those in the form with the rational exponent. So change from root notation to rational exponent notation, and then you'll check your answers with what the substitute has to show you.